Welcome to the Nerdnews podcast, starring Tyler Waltz.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nerd News. This week I have Nate Robinson with me.
What's up, everybody, man? Thank you so much for inviting me on.
Oh yeah, thanks for being here.
I appreciate you. You're a far east sider like me, so let's get it.
Yeah. Do you just kind of want to tell people like who you are, what you like, what you do?
Yes, comedian Nate Robinson, OG. From Indianapolis, Indiana, sell drugs, and I just plan on do that shit.
don't
Only
wink.
on weekends. Wink, wink. Yeah. But no, and they've been doing comedy for a long time, so let's get it.
Yeah. I think the first thing that we were just gonna kind of talk about, and this isn't necessarily nerdy, but anything can be nerdy. You know, is like what's going on with like hosts and comedians. Because Jo Koy has been getting so much shit for hosting. I think it was the Golden Globes.
Right.
I watched like the highlights of it. I can't stand the fancy award shows.
Yeah,
and stuff.
me neither. It's
They're
so
just
boring.
Nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
Like ever since the internet and people can just kind of look up what they want anyway, I haven't really seen the point in them. You know,
I've never seen so many detectives all my life.
Yeah.
Like everybody should practice criminal justice that's on the internet.
Yeah, because the first video that I saw was when Jo Koy made a joke about the Golden Globes cameras. And he was talking about, he was like, what's the difference between the Grammys and the NFL? This is pretty easy 1-2. And he goes, I think the Grammys have less camera angles on Taylor Swift. Because her boyfriend was a football player.
Every rip. That's okay.
So relatively low hanging fruit. Like,
Yeah.
but you're hosting an award show.
You're trying to make anything work.
It's not like he can go hard in the paint, you know?
Can't.
He can't. You can't do that.
You're like rated G.
Yeah. So, and then it cuts to Taylor, and she's like rolling her eyes or whatever. And then he made a joke about Barbie, and then a bunch of like the ladies in the audience were upset. And it's like, what do you guys want? If you're hiring a comedian, you have to have some expectations, right?
Right.
What can he joke about? Like, tell us, you know?
I don't know. I mean, what do you talk about? I mean, I don't know. You talk about your experience with, I don't know, growing up.
Yeah.
I mean, even you can't talk about that either.
It's getting to the point where, and I never really did watch the award shows. So with the exception of like the last 3 to 4 years, has it always been this bad every time? Because
my mom likes to watch all those reward shows. I've never seen the point besides like when the musical acts come on.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you do.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, as you get older, you start to see what people really do. And it's like, okay, all right, cool. Next.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all it is. Cause I feel like we spend so much time watching their lives that, you know, on the outside looking in, you're like, shit. They're all right. They got it. Yeah. They've already made it. What the fuck? What about me?
Exactly. It's like watching an award show for like say you really liked a movie and you found out it's getting nominated for Best Picture.
Right.
If they win, neat. You know, that's cool. I liked this thing. I'm glad they won something.
Right.
But the award ceremonies are just all famous people that are just like, it's an hour and a half to 2 hours of.
That's it.
Like
backpacking. That's it.
Just a big old circle jerk.
Yeah, just a big old jerk off fest.
Yeah,
you know
like,
what I mean?
Did great. No, you did
like,
great.
You did great.
Yeah.
People that don't like each other are there. I think the best award shows, honestly, is like the hip hop awards or Source Awards. Like those are real good because hip hop culture is like, it's all about like people, you know, grudges, secret grudges and stuff like that. So when you watch them, be like, oh my God, what's gonna happen?
Oh,
like
so the drama.
Yeah, it's so much drama, and that's what sells tickets. Is dramas, people, you know, anything that makes you feel like, oh my God, man, let me get a little bit involved. Kind of like how Cat Williams is just out there assassinating every comedian. Like
I haven't listened to that yet.
You haven't watched it all the way yet?
I haven't.
You got to, bro.
But the people reacting to what he said has got me so curious. I don't want to start it and not be able to finish it.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out a time to just listen to the whole thing.
You got to. Like, you have to.
What are some of the highlights?
Oh, my God. Just him just obliterating, like, Steve Harvey.
Okay.
Cedric the Entertainer. He talks about Faison Love. And these are all comedians, like, really, like, kind of like that blew up in, like, the early 90s in movies and stuff like that. But called him out for like he was pretty much fact checked them all, like Steve Harvey. For the longest, Steve Harvey wore this box, like he wore his hair in a box, and his hairline was impeccable. Like all black people would be like, "How is his hairline so crispy?" Well, come to find out, he was wearing a man unit the whole time.
Okay.
Now this is like in the 90s. You know, everybody now wears man units. They got recorded, everything. So like as someone growing up, you're like, wow, like I couldn't believe that shit. You know what I mean? Like it kind of like it fucks you up a little bit. Like what the fuck? He was catfishing everybody his whole life. So he talks about him. He talks about how they were stealing jokes from him. And then you know how YouTube goes. Or the internet, you go right on YouTube and they already got videos up of this joke versus this joke, and you're like, wow.
Yeah,
this motherfucker really was out here taking jokes. Then you see other comedians talk about, he took my joke. And it's just been all over the place.
It's always real upsetting when you hear about like a joke thief in hindsight. Because one of the things that broke my heart a little bit, and the community around this individual is very much protective of him because the situation was apparently Robin Williams was a relatively notorious joke thief.
Oh, wow.
And this is what I've heard. I've looked into it. There's a lot of people that say it's true.
Whoa,
but
Robin Williams.
He would go to shows and stuff, and then he would hear jokes that he likes, and then he would pay people for them. But it wasn't like a, hey, can I buy your joke?
Right.
It was like a, here's $100. I'm going to do your joke now.
This is mine.
Yeah.
Ain't no way. $100? You can suck my... Ain't no fucking way.
Yeah.
Like, your Robin Williams come up to me with $100. Am I a fucking whore to you?
Yeah, well, I mean, this was like in the 70s and 80s, too.
I wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you don't make it... And I need, like, credit. Like, I know you're about to blow up. Or it's a reason behind that. But that's like that at the Comedy Store, like a mug. Like, that's all you see is, like... Why do you think you see, like... Have you ever been to the Comedy Store in L.A. before? Okay, so, like, there's... Obviously, it's free, but there's people that actually like are there from sun up to sundown. Yeah. Like that are just in there trying to network with comedians, meet comedians, all type of shit, just sitting in there. And you'd be surprised how many of those guys with a notepad just sitting there writing down shit.
Oh man, I don't want to assume malice because before I did my first ever open mic, I actually went to Cracker's open mic every day, like every open mic for 2 months straight. Just to figure out like the structure. Like I'm relatively obsessive about stuff that I want to learn about.
Right.
So like I would I would request to sit in the back. I would sit there and I would take notes about people's like presence and stuff. And then I would watch the light and I'd be like, okay, when they get the first light. So like I had a lot of the light and stuff figured out because I wanted to make sure I knew my shit.
Right.
I don't want to assume that people are writing down stealing jokes.
Right.
But man, like it's brutal because I've seen that too. I've been to open mics where people write down other jokes and it's like
I went to a Crackers open mic one time. This was back when they had the Crackers in Broad Ripple.
No, okay.
And my favorite comedian is Earthquake. Like I know his shit from I ain't gonna lie. Like when I first started doing comedy, I had kind of hacked one of his jokes. And like it was a comedian that came up to me and was like, hey bro, don't even do that shit. I know you knew. Don't do no shit like that. So I like immediately like it wasn't even going over anyways. But I was so in love with like his comedy. So I'm about like year 3 or 4 in. I'm there, you know, I kind of know all the comedians. This guy comes up and repeats his whole set word for word. And like everybody is like laughing at first, and then all of a sudden people start laughing. Yeah. And I'm thinking like, oh, these people know who the fuck Earthquake is. And this is Crackers. So I go up to the dude and I'm like, I should bust you in your ass. He's like, what I do? I'm like, you repeated Earthquake shit from verbatim. You didn't even add anything in it. You just repeated everything you said. Yeah. You know, you can't prove that. Man, I had the shit already up. Like, what the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me?
There's video of him
doing this shit. What are you talking about? This motherfucker got 2 million views. How the fuck are you any different from him?
Yeah. It's wild.
Yes. And I've never seen him again.
I've never seen somebody blatantly do another person's set, but I have seen people do like Facebook jokes.
Oh yeah.
Like the generic Facebook, like my girlfriend. It's like, buddy, everybody over the age of 30 is gonna know that you sniped this from some Facebook mom post or something. Like, what are you doing?
Hey, I used to put up like real good Facebook posts, and I would like notice like before my page got like fucking shut down and all that, shadow blocked, all that. Like my shit used to get about like 200 to 300 to 400 likes, and they get shared. So one time I used to like test them, and I would delete them. And then I was like, well, damn, I forget them, so I'll just leave them up so I can just remember them and go back to them.
Yeah, you can use the archive feature.
Yeah, so this is before the archive feature.
Okay.
So when I started noticing that shit, I'm like, oh, perfect. But the archive feature, you can only look at the day of. You can't look at anything beyond, unless you just get on your page and scroll like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I started noticing like people wouldn't share my shit no more. So then I started like looking, and I'm like, wow, just copy my shit verbatim, like. And I would always go on people's posts and put a question like this emoji.
Yeah.
And then like people would be like, comment like, why you doing that? And you don't find it funny? And I'll just put my post up.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they'd be like, oh, this motherfucker.
Yeah. The internet's such a weird place for like content
Plagiarism.
cannibalism.
It's plagiarism at its finest. They're just out there taking and just.
The new thing, like if you go to like YouTube Shorts or like the Instagram Reels or whatever the hell they're called on Facebook, the amount that's like the top half of the video is like clipped from some podcast, and then the bottom half is some video game.
Okay.
Like, have you seen those?
Yeah. So my cousin, he does comedy. So all his comedy, because all he does now is crowd work.
Yeah.
He kind of took from what Matt Rife.
Yeah.
But he's actually way better than Matt Rife. So his is like him doing stand up, and on the bottom half is him talking about who he's talking about.
But that's his content, right?
But that's his content.
Yeah.
though.
There's so many people, or the ones that drive me the most crazy are the pointers.
Yeah.
Where it's like they'll take somebody else's post and just let it play out, but they're in the corner just like,
Oh yeah.
So true, isn't this? It's like, what have you done?
Didn't do nothing.
You leech, like
Yeah. I got one post like that, but it was me actually I'm trying to talk over it.
Yeah, if you're adding commentary, that's different. It's the people that like, because it's getting to the point now where people are editing themselves into like the so they're mixed in with like the title, so it's hard to even see them, just so they don't get like copyright claimed from it.
Right.
So they'll slow it down a little bit, and then they'll put themselves in the corner, just kind of pointing. It's like you're a leech. You are the reason that this content has become so parasitic in this space. Like, you're hurting so many creators by doing nothing.
It's so sad. It's so sad. There's no, I don't know, because me personally, I'm still trying to learn it, because I took so much time away from, because I want to say literally from 2014 to I hate to sound like this, from 2014 to 2018, I was uploading.
Yeah.
And then I just stopped. Because, you know, after a while, it's like I do all this upload, nothing's took off. Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
And then, like, all this new shit, reels, shorts, all this shit. So then I'm trying to, like, caption all this. So I'm trying to get on it, but I'm always feeling like I'm falling behind because I'm so far behind. So I'm trying to relearn it all over again. Like, iMovie Maker used to be the go-to.
Yeah.
Now it's CapCut. CapCut is like 20 times better than it.
Okay. I use Premiere forever.
You use Premiere? Okay.
Yeah,
Premiere is like perfect.
That's what Tyson and I use, yeah.
But I don't know diddly about that shit.
I didn't either. I just had to like figure it. Tyson helped me a lot, and then the rest has been like, hey, I need to do this thing. YouTube had to do that thing. It's, man, the amount of time spent editing.
It's ridiculous.
It's so tough because you get home from work and then you're just like, I don't want to spend hours editing this 40-minute video.
Yeah.
It's like, man, it's just mind-numbing.
Yep. And then when you upload it and get like 5 likes, it's like,
yeah. Which, props to anybody that like likes to do it and makes editing a living. You're a hero.
You're a fucking serial killer.
I can't say much. I'm an accountant, so like I look at spreadsheets and organize stuff,
T-charts and shit.
I just can't do the editing stuff, because I think another big factor is I'm editing my own stuff,
Right.
and hearing myself back just constantly is like, all right, I've heard myself too much.
Right.
So that kind of wears you down too, because for everything that we're doing, like Tyson edits all the shorts. I edit the podcast and cut the shorts out of the podcast. And then it was Tyson doing the sketches as well. But we were talking before the show that we got Austin Fry. He's going to be helping us with the sketches.
Fry, man.
Yeah.
French fries in the building.
He's going to be the next guest, actually.
Oh, cool.
So we'll have him next week.
I like Austin. He has this joke about him buying like in the hood. Oh my God, I love that fucking joke.
Yeah.
And then like one time I was like, hey, I think that was me. And then told you that shit. But
That's funny.
I digress.
Yeah. Oh, we got off topic. But
Hell yeah, like a motherfucker.
yeah. That's okay though. So at what point, I don't know if it'll be this year, but I think either this year or going into 2025, I think comedians are done hosting award shows.
You would think. I mean, they just gave us a category.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the world's too sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten so sensitive. Like freedom of speech is out the window.
Oh, you think so?
Oh my God, yes. Like you can't.
It's touchy for
Yeah,
sure.
it's super touchy. Everybody is in their feelings. All this shit. Like the minute you say something that's reckless, they'll go back in your whole history and try to find something about what you did, and boom.
Well, the thing about the Golden Globes is the award shows is it was always a comedian that presented the award, and they would make a joke that was general, like to the industry, or like making a little stab at like a director and this and that, just to keep the flow of the show going.
Right, nothing malicious.
Yeah, but now every little thing that's said, it's like they're too good to be joked about. Like,
Right.
And if anybody needs to be able to take a joke, it's these super famous rich people,
Right,
that need to be humbled more than anybody.
Oh my God, yes, man. Because I mean, they're the ones that control a lot of this stuff. Like it's to the point now to where like these people are so rich and so powerful. You say something off topic, you gone.
Yeah.
It ain't even got to kill you no more. They just take everything away from you, like just like that.
For me, the straw that broke the camel's back was this most recent Jo Koy one, because like the Ricky Gervais stuff, I thought it was hysterical.
Right.
But he went hard in the paint. Like he went hard. He went so hard on, because he was making jokes about. I was like, oh yeah, all of you guys were saying good things about Weinstein. I think it's
Weinstein.
Harvey
Weinstein. Yeah.
He was like, oh, that's your friend who, like the sexual assault and the Me Too movement and Harvey. So it's like, oh, he laid into these people,
right?
And they were upset because he was pointing out that just a couple years ago, you guys were like, he's great. He put this together. He's like, could have done it without you, Harvey. You're such a sweetheart. And now 2 years later or whatever,
shut it all the fuck way down.
Yeah. So he pointed that stuff out, and it's like, okay, he got banned from hosting. He went pretty hard. I get that. He brought up a lot of touchy stuff. Rightfully, he brought it up.
Well, you have to. I mean, it's the current. Like, don't we want to know about the current event or no? If you see a comedian, if you see something that just goes crazy viral, wouldn't you want your host or whatever to come and touch on that?
Yes, unless you're one of the people that talked good about him, and then he turned out to
exactly. Then that's another story. That's catch-22.
Yeah,
but I mean, they gotta then they have to like give them a list of what not to talk about, what not to talk about.
Yeah,
because you can't just book somebody to host something and then you get there. Because I noticed Hollywood's like that. The minute you get there, then they give you a list of what to say, what not to say.
Yeah, that's and like then, SNL.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
The amount of people that have hosted SNL and gotten banned for going off script, that blew my mind as a kid. Because you would hear the host and they always had their opening monologue, which was great. Because back in the day, I watched a lot of like the older 80s stuff because I really liked Chris Farley.
Right.
I guess that was 90s. But like Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, and they had like Mark Norman and all these great people. And why can't I remember his name? Oh, Tracy Morgan.
Oh, yeah.
And
hell yeah.
It's just like
hell yeah.
So good. And when I found out that they can't get off script or they get banned and stuff, it was like, it was kind of my first realization that it wasn't just them.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like a job. And then like, they have such a high prestige that if you do go off, if you go rogue, let's say, they have the power to do that, and it's sad in a way.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like you can't be yourself. Like,
right.
That's why it's kind of like once you make it, it's so many rules, it's so limited.
Yeah,
that the people that run their own shit, like I would have to say, like the one person that comes to mind is like a Pat McAfee. Okay. He runs off script so much, like to the point now to where he's bigger than the actual place he works for. He can literally go on a podcast, say some shit, everybody's gonna tune in.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what there's good and there's bad of everything, you know?
Right.
The internet has given so much agency to creators to where you can have your own thing, right? Like even like what we're trying to build just locally, right?
Right.
Like Tyson and I, we created this Nerdnews. Everything we do is self-produced. We are not reliant on anybody at this point. It's literally whatever we can do.
Right.
Same thing with you, with running your shows and stuff. People can't take what you produce away from you.
Exactly.
However, the oversaturation of everything and the accessibility through social media and what the rules of platforms and stuff are, those are like the new gatekeepers.
Exactly. All these rules, they let you get the money, but if you can't follow their guidelines, they take it away instantly.
Yeah.
Like go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go for it.
I was gonna say, did you see that video with that guy? He jumped into the judge.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
like just straight
Wild.
on some Carl Lewis shit, like long jumper.
That
was
wild.
wild. Okay, so there's a video of a white woman doing the same thing. She didn't actually leap over, but she ran. She tried.
Yeah.
So I did a video about it, and I'm like talking, and it gets shut down, and I get demonetized on IG, and I'm like, but I already uploaded the black one. What was the problem with that one? Like, is it because
that's suspicious?
Yeah, it is. It's suspicious, and it lets you know, like, all right, we'll let this go by because we've already like demasculated. Like I hate to take it to a race thing, but we already demasculated the black men, so we'll let them act a fool, but don't let this white woman act a fool, and it fucks me up a little bit. It takes me away from, as a creator, it takes away. Then I guess you have to be, all around. Yeah. And I'm not trying to be racist. It's not a black or white thing, but I just find this to be funny, and I'm over here making points of, damn, this jump.
That's probably what did it to me. Yeah, because when I go back and edit this, I'll have to edit out. Because that is a word that when it comes to like what they're looking for, they don't really differentiate between you calling a woman that or saying somebody's just complaining, right? So they just trigger it as like, hey, this could be a misogynistic or whatever thing, automatically demonetize it, and then you have to appeal.
Exactly. Or I just delete. I don't even fuck around. I just delete. I ain't going through all that shit. Cause I'm just happy to get the bonuses and all that shit anyway. So whatever you need me to do. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand because because Tyson and I released the Daily Short,
right? And
we've written some where we've just hammered out a word. It's like, this word is so funny, but we got to figure out a different way to say this because we can't risk it. Like we cannot risk what we're building at the moment,
right,
for the sake of like a word. Because we've fumbled the ball a couple times. Because if you look into the actual like rules and stuff of like our main thing that we're trying to build is YouTube.
Right.
You can't cuss within the first 8 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
If you do cuss after a certain amount, it's considered excessive. There are certain topics that automatically, if it's in your title or if it's picked up through, like you have to like jump through hurdles. And I'm doing everything in my power to not let it affect the subject. Like I'll talk about anything. I'm the type of person that there's nothing off limits.
Right.
I have no reason to be worried about anything that I believe in. Like I will be me. But I will cater it language-wise to what is least problematic.
Gotcha.
Because if you don't filter it, then what are you going to do?
Exactly.
Like if you want the unfiltered stuff, you can always filter people like a Patreon or something that's not a dedicated platform, but we're just not there yet. So do I want to throw the baby out with the bathwater just because there's a couple words that are funny, but we don't want to say right now? It's not worth it,
Man, and it makes me wish I was like, I don't know. I wish I'd have been around in the early 90s to where I could have like did all this then when it was easier.
Yeah.
Versus now it's just so tough. Like it's so many hoops and barrels.
Yeah. That was something that Tyson and I were kind of talking about. Because like, yes, there are certain instances where a word that is a cuss word, like, bitch or whatever, makes a situation funny. It almost forces you to be more creative with it because you can't take an easier option.
Right.
So every once in a while, we've gotten some really good stuff out of it. So it kind of teaches you to like play within the rules but still execute.
Got you.
So
okay,
we try really hard to use it to our advantage.
Well, you guys actually do a good job. I mean,
No,
Tyson,
thanks.
that's my boy. I mean, fuck. When I seen his twin one time.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, what's up, dog? What up, nigga? Looking at me crazy like a motherfucker. Like, what the fuck is this guy? Like Tyson. He's like, oh, my brother. I'm like, oh, you're not Tyson.
Yeah, because they both got tattoos.
Yeah, it's like what you would think they're like the Mario brothers, but I guess Tyson's the evil one and he's the good one or whatnot. Who knows?
Oh man,
we
got sidetracked.
Yeah, so it's me too. But go ahead.
No, it's fine. I guess we'll just kind of wrap it up with this. So in the past couple years, we have had this Jo Koy incident with the Taylor Swift and the Barbie joke. Because the Barbie joke was innocent enough. It was like, it's crazy how you can make so much context out of a doll that was just supposed to have boobs. Yeah, it's an easy joke, right?
That is super easy.
It's such an evergreen, like anybody can hear that and be like, okay, I get it. That's funny.
But how do you find where's the takeaway with that? That's all you see on the internet.
Basically, that you are whittling down the message of the movie to that, because it's just people digging into shit.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. It is. It's wild.
It's sad. Like, you can't even talk about a baby doll's plastic titties.
Yeah.
What do you think they're using in these titties today?
Yeah. But so we had the Jo Koy thing, which was the most evergreen nonsense getting upset. Right. We had the Chris Rock situation.
Oh my goodness, man. The Chris Rock situation was just...
Yeah.
It was next level.
Yeah.
It was next level.
Yeah, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
So like 3 of the biggest awards have been ruined by comedians. So I think comedians are kind of done.
They might be, but you got to think they draw attention to the actual awards.
Yeah, because who's tuning in to actually give a shit about what's going on?
No one. Who gives a flying fuck? Nobody cares. I wouldn't know who won the Oscar from who didn't.
Yeah.
I think the only time I really paid attention is when like they'll be like someone black winning. They're like, this is the first time a black woman is. And you're like, oh shit, this shit been going on for years. What the? That's probably the only time. Yeah. Other than that, I can care less. Who gives a shit? Mm-hmm. If I'm making $1 million a year, I don't give a fuck if I ever win one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the only time I ever tune in is when somebody that I like might win something. Like music ones, I've never. I do have to say, most of the music I listen to, not getting awards. It's
what are you?
Pretty out there. I like a lot of like 80s synthwave stuff. Like,
oh, okay.
I'm like synthwave and vaporwave. I like a lot of that.
What is that? What type of music is that?
Imagine if like 80s artists started today is kind of a good way to put it.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's a lot of like guitar, synth, like just 80s motivated stuff.
Gotcha.
But my favorite band is a band called Ninja Sex Party.
Oh.
Yeah, I get that a lot. This is actually the thing behind my bow here is the VIP badge that the show that Tyson and I went to. Like, Ninja Sex Party. There's another one called Twerp, which is Tupperware Remix Party.
Okay.
I think they had to change their name because of Tupperware. So now it's just Twerp.
God.
Yeah.
Can't even get a name off no more.
But those are my favorite bands. They're like comedy 80s themed. It's a lot of 80s stuff.
Gotcha.
And then recently a ton of Japanese music.
Oh, yeah, I can listen to that shit all day.
It's
I can
great.
listen to that all day.
Oh, man.
I can listen to that all day.
But and
oh,
then
my God.
When it comes to like music that most people I think have heard of, or like what you hear on the radio, KG Elephant is my favorite.
Gotcha.
I'm a huge KG Elephant fan.
Gotcha.
And I've been getting really into Thundercat recently.
Okay.
So that's like kind of what I've been vibing with lately.
I love how I'm agreeing with you and I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
For me, it's just like, wah, 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 wah. I'm like, yeah, I got you. Wah, 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 wah. What the fuck?
It's nerdy shit. Yeah.
That's some nerd
At
shit.
the end of the day, it's nerd shit. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah.
I don't know. I like...
well, you know Brian Peachy, right?
Yeah, BP.
He's the one that got me turned on to Thundercat. Oh, man. Thundercat has got some of the best like funk and bass riffs I've ever heard.
Yeah. He actually pulled up one time when we was riding to Ohio to do a show. Mm-hmm. He was playing a bunch of that, and I was like, kind of like, man, this shit is cool, man. What is this? He's got telling me about it. I'm like looking it up, like these motherfuckers ain't got no. Nobody knows. Yeah. But I can see why you like it. It's unique. It's different.
Yeah. But 1 year KG Elephant got nominated for a music thing, and I think it's the only time I tuned into a music award.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't know what's it going to be if they take away the comedians, though? Because their viewership is already lower than ever by leaps and bounds. So where the fuck does it go?
I don't know. I mean, at this point, get a star to host it.
It'd probably be less controversial.
I'm telling you, because they'll probably not even know how to read. Can you make it bigger? Shit! I hope we don't get demonetized with that one. But I mean, where do you go? I mean, comedians. I mean, for the longest, the best actors, like best everything, because we're so universal. We have to actually adapt to everybody's genre in order to be something.
Yeah.
And I don't know which way you go. I mean, if you bring a celebrity, whoever, you can do that, but at the same time, their schedule might be ridiculous. You're gonna have to pay out of pocket you're gonna pay bukus, but man, they got it. They've been around forever.
Yeah.
So
the video game awards this year were 3 hours long, and it was essentially an hour and a half of ads for what's coming out next year.
Oh, wow.
It's just like, check out this game for like an hour and a half. And then the last hour and a half was literally just a person in the gaming industry coming up, talking for 2 minutes, and then handing out the award. There was no host, really. There was a host that they kind of cut to for the in-between shots.
Oh, okay.
But they didn't do like a comedian or like a big name.
Do they ever do a comedian or big name?
I don't think they ever did a comedian.
Okay.
But they always have some kind of like news journal, like IGN or something like that,
they're behind the
gap.
scenes, so you really don't even see who it is anyway.
Yeah.
So you really wouldn't know who it is. Now, if they were to bring a comedian or somebody famous, then they'll probably have a lot more leeway.
Probably,
because they have no filter anyways.
Yeah, but the gaming community isn't known for their subtleness. Might be a good way to put it. You know,
right? It'll just let it happen.
Yeah.
Now if you just do some wild shit, then maybe. But nah, they wouldn't give a fly. They wouldn't give a care.
Yeah, but well, you got anything else to add to the topic or?
No,
right.
Besides, I hope their viewership goes down more and more.
Same. I agree.
Let us be us, bitch.
Yeah. All right. Well, join us for part 2. We're going to be talking about like anime, some wrestling stuff, just kind of joking around.
Oh yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to part 2, and we're back. We're just going to be talking in general, probably about like anime and wrestling. I know those are two things that you're real big into.
Oh yeah, now ever since the pandemic hit, man, I really wasn't rocking with no wrestling. Yeah. Anime, probably just Dragon Ball for the most part. But now that I'm like, I have more, I wouldn't say so much more time, because during the pandemic I had all the time in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, who didn't?
Yeah.
And so I really got back into watching wrestling. Everything was closed. No NBA, no football, no nothing. So it's like, what the fuck can I do to buy my time besides working?
Yeah.
And
your jokes about wrestling were some of my favorite when I first started. Cause how long have you been doing comedy?
I've been doing comedy for like 10.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Right on. My first ever set was technically in March of 2020.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect timing. Flawless.
You're a pandemic comedian.
Flawless timing.
Yeah.
But then after everything got shut down, since it was my first one, I chilled out, and then I came back exactly a year later. So I really consider March of 2021 when I started.
I got you. Same. I mean, I kind of feel the same, because I originally started it like, I did a show, but I didn't know shit about comedy. Mm-hmm. I just would get up there and just freestyle.
Yeah.
It was no structure, no anything.
I wish I had the confidence to do that.
Oh, dog, I just didn't give a fuck. I just didn't give a fuck. I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to get up here and try this. And, of course, it didn't work. Because I'll never forget, like, when I started doing comedy, it was in Muncie. And, like, it's nothing but white comedians. So I knew I was funnier than all. No disrespect. But what I would say would stick more than what they would try to work on. They just weren't naturally funny. And I was already silly. So that kind of got me by for the longest. But then when I started meeting real comedians, when I moved back to Indy, it was like, all right, I got to take this shit serious. So like I would literally go to an open mic, kill the open mic, and wouldn't come back for months.
Yeah.
Like I just never took it serious.
Yeah.
I did a lot of urban mics, and I used to fucking bomb in the motherfuckers a lot. And it's like, how am I black bombing at places I know, people I know?
Yeah.
But then I go to complete strangers, white rooms, mixed rooms, and would kill them. So then I just started like really honing in on the urban rooms and went to Chicago, got my ass ate the fuck out there. But it made me so much stronger, and it made me formulate a joke and it just knew my timing. So then when I came back to Indy, it hit. So I say I started taking comedy serious 2014. When I really started taking it like, all right, this is how to to formulate a joke, how to write. I don't want to be hacky. This is,
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So when I first started comedy, about 6 to 8 months ish in from 2021, Josh Springer booked me for my
the richest white dude I know.
Yeah, he loves when you bring it up.
He's so rich. He know he rich.
Love you, buddy. So he was the first ever comic to book me on a show.
Gotcha.
I did a guest spot for one of his shows that he locally booked in, I think in Irvington. Yeah. And then you were the second person to ever book me.
Okay.
So you were the second comic that ever booked me for a paid show that was not an open mic.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hey, that's what I do. I pay comedians, even though I don't know the fuck they are. But nah, man, when you came, like, your jokes just hit and you sounded like you were already good. And when I asked you, you was like, oh yeah, I'm just a couple months in. I'm like, the fuck? And I got to thinking about like how much I struggled just to formulate shit.
Yeah. I'm so thankful that I met good people early.
Oh yeah.
The people that I met early on in comedy were such a godsend, because it was Tyson, it was Josh, it was a lot of people that were just good, kind-hearted people.
Oh, definitely.
That gave a shit,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I care, and at the same time, like, it's so many of us just out here trying to, make $1 out of 15.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't have shit to go home to. We're depressed individuals. Like, I had a talk with you, and when you was telling me about your life and like everything, I'm like, wow, this guy's already got his shit together.
I try so hard.
This shit is just but really though, this shit is just a hobby. So you took me as somebody that takes this shit serious, and then the people, your circle of comedians you hung with, like that right there told me like, all right, he ain't no bullshit.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to be, because I had listened to comedy for years. I think everybody that's trying to be a comedian to a certain degree is a fan of comedy.
Oh, definitely.
Which, in hindsight, it's such a bummer, because I listen to so little comedy now. Because like I used to listen to comedy albums and stuff every day, because I loved it. I was obsessed with it. But now it's one of those things where it's like the more that I listen to it, the more that I'm afraid that it's like I don't want to let it manipulate the projects that I'm doing.
Right.
And I've got like a select group of comedians that I really like, that I check out their stuff.
Right.
But I don't listen every day like I used to.
I like the intellectuals. When I first started like really watching comedy, it was all Def Jam, Comic View, those type of comedians, very raunchy.
Yeah.
And so I try to manipulate my stuff around that. But then when I start noticing like you guys, Tyson, I mean, I can name a bunch that came into the scene, they made me generally laugh my ass off, and without cussing, articulate, intellectual, it made me just say, let me throw my shit out the window and let me start writing in a different way.
Oh yeah.
And it took me to start getting out there and hanging out, or just going to different mics, hanging out with different comedians, because I was always like respected, but I never hung out. Yeah. I never like, hey, let's go here. Nah, I'm going to the crib. Like,
I felt like I always kept weirdly on the outside of most scenes, because with having a day job and stuff like that, and
definitely,
it's one of those things where it's like you mentioned, like, I don't need this.
Oh, of course not.
Like, there are a lot of comics that I feel for, because they are going from gig to gig, and they're couch hopping. They're doing the road comic lifestyle.
Right.
It's nice, and I'm very thankful that I've set myself up with a day job to where I don't have to stress about comedy being a paycheck. Right. And that also liberates you to have more freedom with what you can do too.
Exactly.
So when it comes to like the open mics and stuff, I wouldn't really hang, because it's like I gotta get up at like 6. Like I got work in the morning. Yeah. Like I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to peace out early or be disrespectful to other comics, because supporting the scene and being a part of the scene is a core element. But there's certain aspects of it where it's like I would love to. I just can't right now. Same
with me. Like, it took a comedian to pull me to the side and be like, you're always leaving. You're always this. Stick around, watch everybody. Get the, Yeah. So, I mean, I started doing that, and then I got to looking at the time, like, I didn't make no money doing this shit. So it just, it made me think, like, do I want to do this shit? I mean, I came up here, did my due diligence, because people used to know I used to leave, so they used to just put me, like, towards the bottom. I used to hate that shit.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? I was the first motherfucker here. Y'all gonna. So then I just started realizing, like, all right, they know. Let me just start playing it by ear, and I stick around. Give my 2 cents. I never would jump in, try to punch people jokes, none of that shit. Yeah. I would just put you to the side, like, hey, that shit was funny, but you could say this. And some people would take it, some people wouldn't, or a lot of people wouldn't.
Yeah, I never understood the getting defensive about your jokes, because like comedy is about perspective. So shouldn't you be curious about the other perspectives?
Yeah, I am. Like, it's a lot of people that don't like for their shit to be, because they feel like they spent so much time, and they're like, oh, what part? Why you didn't like this? Or but I never was like that. Like, if you got any input, let me know so I can add it in, and I would show you props. I would show you love, or I would make a comment or make a post. Like TJ Worry, for instance. I got a joke about, I ain't gonna say it, but queefs. I'll say that.
All right.
Yeah. I ain't gonna say
I'm not gonna say it, but this.
Queefs. So like I incorporate the Mario theme on, like, it's level 1, level 2. So then he was like, you should add a level 3. Like, level 3 in Mario is like the water stage. So you should do that and incorporate that. So I added that in, and it gets huge laughs. So now every time I see it or I see him, I'll let him know, like, hey, bro, I appreciate you for punching that motherfucker up like you did. But anybody, it don't matter, because I'm not a genius at this shit. I'm still learning.
I'll take notes from anybody.
I don't care who you are. You could be somebody that just bombed.
Yeah.
I'll definitely hear you out, and I'll see if it works, but
it probably won't.
It probably won't. I'm not gonna let you know that, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like being mean, being rude to other people, because we're all in this together.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. I mean, it's a competition. It might be a rat race, so to say, but at the end of the day, I got love for everybody, all the comics.
Also, here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of like generic sayings,
right?
But I think everybody to a certain degree has heard the like rising tide rises all ships, right?
Exactly.
Yes and no. But if you're genuinely like kind and nice to people and you are helpful, the chances of, if somebody else pops off as well, you getting a chance also drastically increases.
I will say no.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because I've been one of those guys that looked out for a lot of comedians' couches. It's been comics that ain't have a place to stay. Wife kicked them out. Like, I offered my, and the second they blow up, I don't hear from them. And it's just something that you just going to have to live with. Yeah. And I had like, it took my ex to tell me, like, you're too fucking nice. Stop being super nice to these people. They're not even going to give you an inch, a meter of what you done for them. So why do you go out your way for motherfuckers that don't give a fuck about you? Yeah. And I had to really take that into hindsight, like, wow, she's right. So yeah, I can give that out. And she's like, and the people that you should be around, you don't even around them. And I'm like, damn, that's fucking crazy. Yeah. So I had to like kind of reevaluate like who I'm around. Yeah. And I don't do it to expect something in return ever. It's just, I got love for you. I want to see you blow up. And if you don't call me again, so be it. It's cool.
I mean, you're shitty, but hey.
Yeah, you're a bitch. Like, this is a true story. So, Miss Pat, I used to work at this place called Ace Rental Cars, a branch manager there. So, the owner at Morty's used to rent cars from me. And I would give him my rates. So he's going to do gigs, and I'm renting a car to him for like $10, $15. You know what I'm saying? I would fill him up and tell him to bring it back on half. Miss Pat, same thing. Hey, come get a car, I got you. Literally bring it back on nothing. And I'll be like, hey, I ain't tell you that shit, but, don't do it again. Nothing. Yeah. Nothing. Not even a like off the comment. You know what I mean?
That's a bummer.
But it's just like, it's okay. I'm happy that she's blown up. I got no ill will towards it, not whatsoever. But just to let you know, it don't work that way. Now, someone like genuine like Tyson, if he make it, fuck yeah, you going somewhere. Yeah. He's gonna book you on some dates.
I would hope so, because we own a company together.
I'll take you off this motherfucker. Like my cousin, for instance, man. I'm not gonna shit on my cousin at all, but like, when I was not really hitting jokes and shit, I feel like he booked me more then than now. Now that I can I remember one time he was running late to a show, and I got to do damn near 40 minutes. I'm still having people laugh.
Yeah.
And I think that was the point where he was like, all right, goodbye.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
It is a bummer, man, because and he's the best.
Yeah.
Crowd work wise, everything, he's the best. I don't shit on nothing he do. I love him. He has his own comedy club, everything.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's just it ain't gonna come back. Some people just don't practice that.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. I wish he would take me on tour with him. I wish he'd give me some dates. Can you make it there? If that motherfucker told me I can't pay you none of these dates, but you can perform with me, I'll be there in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm gonna at least we might do 5, 6 shows. I'm gonna at least get 100 to 200 followers off these shows.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if I bring my own merch, I'm gonna make my money back anyways.
Yeah.
But I mean, some people don't look at it like that. And all I can do is just keep working on my own shit and just stay ready.
Yeah. Right now, because we were talking a little bit before the cameras were on. It's like, yeah, you haven't seen me for a couple months.
True.
It's and I hate that, but
Yeah.
at the moment right now, unfortunately, that's not really spinning my flywheel is doing open mics and stuff like that.
Who wants to sit there and fucking pay for nasty ass food, hear a bunch of motherfuckers bomb, and
which I do like open mics. I appreciate it. I understand that it is a genuinely useful thing in the craft.
Right.
And there's no bone in my body that's saying I'm too good for them. It's just with my day job, with this, with editing, with family and stuff like that. Open mics just aren't in my vision right now.
And that's a good thing.
I would love to be there.
No, I would too. I just started going back to, so this week I went to Helium. I went to a couple mics on Monday. I ended up going somewhere on Wednesday. So I worked on some shit.
Yeah.
Now, all week, I don't know. Maybe not. Because this is a bunch of mics I just don't rock with. I had to stop doing my mic because I had to think about it okay, this mic is cool, but I'm not getting the people that I want to get to come. You know what I'm saying? So it just became hard, and it got tiresome.
Yeah.
And time is money on my end. I'm 37 years old. Goddamn it! I got to make something out of this. Your business is thriving. We're bringing people here, but you never looked at it you never gave a fuck about us. You was just like, oh, these people, y'all charging people. I'm not about to charge comedians to come and work on their shit. That's so that's fucked up. I want to provide something. I want to give incentives. God has blessed me to have this, so I want to be able to pass it on. Because what do I look like just keeping everything?
Yeah. And
that's why sometimes it's just why the world's so wicked in a way. All these people, they can make all this money and not even give back nothing. And feel okay with that. Yeah. Nah, I don't look at it like that. The minute I got something, I'm gonna pass it along because I know in my heart of hearts, it's gonna be somebody I'm gonna touch, and they're gonna remember it. So whenever they get to a moment to where they big, they could be like, "Hey, I remember this guy looked out for me." Yeah. And that's all I want. That's it.
Yeah, same. That's why we're trying to put together this whole thing. It's the reason that we're expanding because we eventually want to get to a point where anybody in indie or anybody that we know can come to us and be like, hey, I don't necessarily have the means to throw this together. And us as what we've built on this production company side of things can be like, yeah, sure. Let's do it.
You know what? That's dope though, because I ain't gonna lie, I thought your ass got on drugs or some shit. No, no. I just been, everybody got it, man. I don't mean fucked up or nothing, but
just been white knuckling it on the keyboard as well.
But look what you got out of just changing what you do. You inspired me when I walked in here. As soon as I walked in here, I'm like, it looks super duper creepy, but at the same time, this shit is dope.
We're working on it. Yeah,
no, y'all doing it. It ain't working. Y'all doing it.
My goal is to start going back to one open mic a week.
Yeah,
because I'm at the point now where I need more new stuff.
Right.
Because I'm still thankfully getting booked on some shows. I self-produce a lot of stuff with Tyson, but a few weeks ago I was at Helium. Thank you, Avery, for still remembering me.
Shout out to Avery, man. Shout out to Avery. Yeah. He ain't booked me though.
Such just a wonderful human.
Yeah, he's good. He's good people. He's definitely good people.
So I'm thankful that he still remembers me, even though I haven't really been to the open mics and stuff like that. However, I don't want to get to the point where going into 2024, I'm still doing all of my 2023, 2022 stuff. From before I dipped out of the open mics. Because I don't want to go to a show that I'm paid for and try something.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if I'm doing 15 to 20, I'll throw in a new thing or two in the middle. But it's not at the pace that I'm getting rebooked at places now.
Right.
So I really need to get back out there, and it's my goal to.
Yeah.
But just the self-producing stuff, I want people to be able to come to us with an idea and be able to do their idea.
You're providing something for someone.
That's what we're trying.
And we're
not there yet.
Yeah, exactly. But y'all working towards that.
Yeah.
And the fact that y'all, like, you gave yourself a goal when we talked earlier. You was like, our goal is to hit 2,000. I got 2018. Yeah, I got to 2,000 like on the last day or the second to last day of the year.
Yeah,
like, that's a beautiful thing.
It was like right at the wire. It was like right at the wire.
I got it though. My black ass would have been like, you know what? Fuck every last one of y'all. Man, fuck all this shit. Fuck you guys. You know, I'd have just lashed out. But you being on this podcast, you gave me, you showed me that hey, it's okay being patient. You're okay with just getting it as long as you're getting it out there. Yeah. So, and
you've always got my support, man.
Oh, like, same here. Always. Same here. So. It's like that time you hit me up to go to Converse. I call my life insurance policy. I said, hey, you need to activate this shit because I don't know where the fuck I'm going. So when I got there, you know, I'm fashionably late like always, and it
was a fun show.
It was a fun fucking show, and the food was so damn good, dog. Like they put they fucking ass in that damn hamburger, bro. I don't even eat like meat like that. And bro, I was smashing that shit. I wanted another one. It's so good. Fucking good. Yeah, you still produce that show?
No, that one's kind of fallen by the wayside. They're more of a like events venue now, so it's not even really a restaurant anymore, and they're focusing a lot on a food truck.
Okay, probably the cost of the building probably was too high.
They've spread themselves a bit thin, and it's just kind of odd now. So unfortunately, that one doesn't work. But there is a place called P30 that's like right down the road, here on the east side, and they have an arcade, and Tyson and I have started up the arcade show. So we're renting out that. I get a discount because I work out of that building, and then we're gonna start doing this. I don't know if it'll be monthly. I think that might be a bit much, but hopefully at least a quarterly comedy show there.
Nice.
And then we're reaching out to comic book shops. We're going to try and do some nerd comic book comedy shows.
Nice.
Too.
Hell yeah. Nice. So, man, I need to get into them sex stores.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that go to them, the little stripper places. Or
probably.
They'll be in that motherfucker. I be seeing them hoes in there. You might want to hit that up too.
Because right now we've got the 2 Dungeons and Dragons shows.
Right.
My goal
is waiting for a call.
Yeah. It's the Dungeons and Dragons shows are so odd. Like the amount of people that have like lied to us saying that they know how to play and stuff to get on a show is wild. It's pretty kooky. I'm definitely not going to name any names, but we've had people show up and be like, it's like, can you put me together a character real quick? And it's like, we're going on stage in 15 minutes.
You're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Why you didn't inbox me?
Why are we playing this game right now?
You knew about this shit for...
But outside of the internet goals and stuff like that, when it comes to the company and the producing side of things, my goal is that by the end of the year, we're producing 1 comedy show a week and maybe 2 to 3, maybe even 4 of the Dungeons and Dragons shows a month. Because we got the Indianapolis one, we've got the Louisville one, we're working on one in Bloomington, Illinois, and then we've got I think it's called like the Sunken Bus or something that we're doing in April-ish. Right. So we're trying to get this production shit going.
Y'all spreading nerdness around. It's like a drug. It's like heroin.
But man,
I should say that. Get a free crumb of heroin. Watch how many people y'all get.
It'll be a lot. It's like not the people we want.
Right. It's like a pass out line. We're for the heroin. You not play Dungeons and Dragons? Huh?
Yeah. But yeah, we're hoping. I'm very optimistic about this year.
True. That's what's up.
Right now we're just happy that we're keeping the lights on.
Y'all doing
I guess
it.
Not even my 9 to 5 job is keeping the lights on.
Yeah, right.
But this is making enough money to just pay for editing.
But that's cool though, because now once it starts having a leg up and it starts running on its own, because it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
The 9 to 5 is gonna turn into a man. I don't even need this shit no more. Once you get to that point, well, you ain't gonna give it up because that pays good money. Accountant,
It's
pay more.
This is going to have to pay a solid amount.
I got
for me to give up the day job.
I got you. I don't blame you, but you can always fall back on it though.
Yeah,
you can always fall back. You got your MBA?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not that smart. I coasted for a bachelor's.
I got you. Me too. I was high every day doing.
I went to the C's. Do you know the Kelly School of Business?
Yeah. IU.
That's where I got my diploma.
That's hard. You mean your degree?
Yes. Yeah. I'm fairly certain I was in the bottom like 5. Like I was.
Don't matter. You finished
the finish line. I was like, have you seen the Paul Blart?
Yeah.
Mall Cop when he passes out and he. Except I just skated across the line.
Over. Hey, bro. At least you got it. You can always fall back on that motherfucker.
Yeah.
So cool. And Kelly is fucking top 10 in the nation,
something like that. It's kooky. I have no right to be able to say I'm an alumni of there because I'm so fucking stupid. Like it's like I have to beat my head against the brick wall so hard to just get shit.
Did you smoke weed or anything when you was out there? Nothing.
No, nothing.
Wow. Damn. Weed really fucked my life up.
Yeah.
I smoked every day right before class. It didn't matter. Yeah. I would always make sure I would do my work before I forgot everything.
Yeah.
So I would do it and then I get back. I'd be like, who the fuck did all this shit? And it was me. Yeah. So I'm like, oh God.
Yeah. I have nothing against like weed or anything like that.
Yeah, nothing at all.
Every job I've ever had has drug tested.
Right.
So it's one of those things where it's just would I if I could? Probably.
If you need clean piss.
Yeah.
Hair follicles.
Yeah, right. But I don't know. I spend a lot of time in comedy clubs and stuff like that, so I don't know if the hair follicles are good. But yeah, like because when I was in college, I was a trash man. I rode on the back of a trash truck. That was my college job.
Gotcha.
Because I could not get hired as a stripper as hard as I tried. Like I got the boobs and everything. I just can't. I guess I couldn't cut it.
Yeah, I end up getting my boobs out of nowhere. Yeah. It's called eating potatoes.
Yeah.
Not working out no more. And I just hate how mines are now. Like my shit. I gave my ex a run for the money. Yeah. You knew you got boobs when like my nephew was born and he was trying to suck on my shit. I'm like, I'm a man. Oh, fuck, that shit looks delicious. Oh shit.
That's always a big problem.
It's a big problem.
But yeah.
So
I think at some point we should probably talk about anime or
wrestling. I know. This is gonna turn into the nerd biography. Yeah. So yeah, man. So again, wrestling. I jumped back into it after the pandemic. I started off with AEW, like because I wasn't fuck with WWE. I just already knew they was on some bullshit.
Not gonna lie, my fat ass thought you were talking about root beer for like half a second. I was like AEW. I was like, I didn't know root beer had a wrestling company.
Yeah, AEW. So it was like. When I first seen it, it was like a breath of fresh air. Like the content was different. These guys are actually really getting fucked up. The ideas was cool. The wrestling was amazing. So I'm like, all right, this shit is dope. I like this shit.
You know, a new wrestling movie like just came out that has like Zac Efron in it or something like that. People are saying it's like one of the saddest movies they've ever seen.
Oh wow!
Because it follows these brothers, these like 4 brothers that were in wrestling.
Oh, you talking about the Von Erichs?
I think so. Yeah. That movie just released, and everybody is just losing their mind saying how good and like apparently tragic it is.
Oh, super tragic! Because like every time that one of them got to the pivotal point, they died.
Man. Like, I didn't know anything about him. I just saw the trailer for the Zac Efron movie. And
man, all I know is the Terry Von Erich, I think his move was the claw. So my dad would do that to us.
Oh, yeah.
At like, we were like 6, 7 years old. He's gripping our fucking heads. Like, he should be going to prison for the shit he did to us as kids. Yeah. He used to do a choke slam with the... He used to fuck us up. I don't know if he was trying to take it out on us because my mom got on his motherfucking ass, but... Bro, he was doing all type of shit. But, like, as I got older, I used to do that shit, too. So, like, my niece, man, I put her in every fucking move possible. Power bombed her little ass. Power driven. I almost hit her with a Canadian destroyer one time. Yeah. Like, these fuck my little
I don't even know what Canadian destroyer sounds like. It could be problematic.
Oh, it's like when you flip over. All right, so this is the person. We're going to play this out. So you would, like, put your head over that, and then that person flips back. and they land on the top of their head.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of looks like a pile driver, like a self-inflicted pile driver.
Okay.
I don't know. When I noticed it, I'm like, let me try this with you. Did that shit. Let's do it again. I'm like, oh, okay. She ain't fucked up.
Nice.
But me and my brother used to just wrestle all the time, dog. And that's pretty much how I got into it. But like the names of some of these moves are just hilarious.
Yeah.
And
we were joking beforehand that we were going to bring up, because it's a big internet debate right now.
Right.
Is wrestling anime? Yeah. Like,
you would think,
because everyone's got their signature moves. Everybody's got their like tragic backstories and all this kind of stuff.
It's so fucking retarded a little bit. It's just retarded. Like I love, like I almost miss like the old school wrestlers, like how they all used to sound the same. Well, we're gonna come out here and fuck these guys up, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. You've been talking all that shit, Bash Man. Well, guess what, Bash Man? I'm gonna bash you in the crack of your ass. And I'm like, oh, that don't sound good at all.
My favorite like hypercuts on the internet are of Macho Man Randy Savage.
I was just about to say him.
Oh, I adore it.
He was so great.
The heavy breathing and the nonsense yelling is the best. It's the best.
He sounded like a premeditated, like an assassin, like just a straight up killer. Like, you know, you're coming out here with that bullshit. It's okay.
Just
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But when I come out to the ring,
you're bringing me to the boiling point. Like, I loved it.
Hogan, you always took a championship from me. Yeah, you always over there. You always play like you're a good guy and all that. But I don't give a fuck about you. I'll fuck your mom right in front of you, Hogan. Like,
damn.
Hogan's like, hey, Macho Man. Like, it's like how intense, and like these guys just be super intense, like veins popping in their necks.
Oh yeah.
And then I would always want to see how they be after the interview was over.
Exhausted.
Is it over? Oh shit! I almost think I had a heart attack.
Cigarette.
It's just blood.
Yeah. But because I've been watching so much anime, it's a problem. Like I got annoyed with not knowing. It's like I'm getting tired of subtitles, so I purchased Duolingo, the paid version, to learn Japanese. So like I'm learning Japanese because I've been watching so much anime. Oh
my god, you're learning on the fly.
It's a problem. It's getting problematic because like everybody jokes like, "Oh, you're a weeb" or whatever. It's like I don't know what it is in me that makes me feel like I have to learn Japanese.
What's your favorite word?
My favorite word?
Yeah, Japanese.
So I haven't learned a ton of words yet. So I've only been in it for like 35 days.
Okay.
35, 40 days. And
you can count to 10 or 20 and all that?
Well, a lot of it has been learning the alphabet. So
okay.
Japanese has 3 written languages.
Hiragana, katakana, and kanji.
Yeah, I finished hiragana a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's the easy one.
And I just finished katakana.
Okay.
So I haven't started any kanji.
That's too difficult.
Yeah, that's the one that's the combination of everything.
Yeah.
So now that I have all of the alphabet memorized, I just started learning words.
Gotcha.
So I could be like, what is it? Watatashi no Gohan.
Yeah.
Like Mizu to Risu. Like is like my lunch or my dinner, my meal was rice and water. Like
Tabemono guy, squat-ass guy. Like I've been to Japan, so
I've always wanted to go.
Oh my god, it stinks.
It stinks.
It's like a fishy smell.
Okay. I thought you meant like the trip was bad.
No. It's a long ass flight.
Because James was here and he said it was like one of his favorite vacations ever.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it was awesome, but the flight was ridiculously long. Everybody called me a gaijin everywhere I went. Gaijin. That's a stranger.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I was called gaijin everywhere. Somebody called me Shaq. I'm like, I am not 7 feet tall. And there's a lot of tall Japanese people around there. Everyone looks at you.
Yeah.
The culture is...
It's got to be extra difficult being black in Japan.
Oh, but there's a lot of us down there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of us down there. I don't know if we're running from reality or what, but it's an odd number of a lot of black people out there. But like everywhere you go, you got to be respectful. And if they offer you something, you have to take it because it's disrespectful in their native tongue to say no.
Yeah.
So I'm like eating live shit. And it's just like, the fuck are you offering me? Yeah. No, bitch. I don't want this shit, bitch. How do you say no, bitch, in it?
That's so funny.
But
if you want to say no, it's EA.
Yeah, EA. EA wakarimasen. That's yeah. Masen. Yeah, it's all no. But I don't know. I like
the thing that's bothering Macy right now is we'll be watching an anime, and we're watching My Hero Academia right now,
right?
Which is a fun show. If you look into the fan base, though, rough. A lot of people that take it way too seriously. But they do hero cards.
Okay.
So in the intermissions where it would normally be like a commercial break, they would cut to like hero and then all the text to describe who they are. What bothers her is I'll pause it and I'll read as much of it as I can. So we'll just be watching an anime and just reading.
She's like, no. EA,
stop. Read it in your own time. So I'm just pausing it, trying to read it.
Dame some shit out.
But yeah, so do
you know your name in Japan or Japanese? Japanese or Nihongo?
Nihojin, Japan, Japanese. No, I tried to translate it, but it doesn't come out well because my name has an L in it.
Right.
And it sounds racist, but they don't do L's.
Yeah, no, they don't.
They don't.
It's like a particle or some shit that they incorporate.
If you directly translate any of their symbols, there's not any L's. The L's are literally replaced with R's.
Right.
Right. So it's like Ra, Ray,
Ru.
Yeah,
Ru.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't really do L's. So like I'm trying, and it's like me saying my name sounds kind of racist. It sounds like. Well, no, it sounds like me doing a bad Japanese impression. Yeah, like I learned the word for it was like gorilla, and it's gorilla. And it's like that sounds like I'm doing a character of a Japanese person as a white guy. It's like I'm learning some of these words, and I'm just like, that just sounds like me like doing an accent inappropriately, but that's the word. It's the word.
Like my name, okay, you know my name's Luther, right? So my name in Japanese is Rusa. But I have to like hold it. So it's like Rusa. And I'm like, I don't like it being
so does it have the little
with the line.
Symbol?
So it's like so I can write it out. So it's Ru.
Right, I know Ru.
And then it's Sa.
Because Ru, because I'm assuming since it's not a native Japanese name, it's in katakana.
Yeah, it's in katakana. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so when they
see, I'm learning.
Yeah. I mean, I had 2 years and I went. I mean, a lot of weed was smoked. Cause I used to be able to talk and have conversations. Now it's
amazing.
It's over with now. I can only say words and shit, or certain words. But my favorite word out there is kami. Oh, it's kami. Yeah, because kami is either God or money.
Okay.
So I'm like, hey, show me the kami.
Nice. That's a good one. Wait, so kami, like when Goku is like kami, well, that's kami.
You know, kami, the god, the Namekian.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's God of Earth, but that's actually what they use as God is kami.
Good.
So, yep.
Interesting. All right, that's
so I know a little bit. You know, I'm not accounting shit. Ichi ni san shi go roku shishi hachi kuju and ju ni ju san. So it's easy to count.
Yeah.
And then I forgot how to say my birthday, but it used to be the most hilarious shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I forgot a lot of it. I never really like learned, but I forgot what the word is that I like. Okay, so like when you see like some of the villains and how they talk, they be like,
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Especially because when you are learning hiragana and katakana, you know that some of their symbols, depending on if they're next to another symbol, mean something different.
Exactly.
Like the symbol for tsu, TSU, tsu.
Yeah.
If it's placed slightly smaller and before another symbol, it's an extension of the consonant of that symbol.
Right.
So if I say like hika or something like that, but it's got that su symbol, you pause and then add like an extra like k to it. So it's hika. And it's like, man, that messes
that would
me
drive me
up.
the fuck crazy, dog.
And they don't separate their words either. So
it's all of it. Yeah, in hiragana. Yeah, it could just be all no sentence, no spaces, nothing, and it's like
messing with
what the fuck.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how they can like incorporate the English lettering in hiragana.
Yeah,
but it's just like that nobody uses it. It's all either katakana, because katakana is obviously for names and like birth dates.
I think the way that they phrase it is borrowed words.
Yeah.
So words that aren't native to Japan, they get as close as they can with katakana to get the sound of it.
Right.
Right. Like the word gohan is like meal, but it's also rice.
Right. Yep.
So to not get them confused, they'll use katakana for risu.
Yeah, risu. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like, this is fucking me up.
I know it's fucking me up. I can't.
All their like object or like connector words, like you can't just say like my hat. It has to be like my and then their connector word of like wa.
Right.
To get the subject, and it's backwards. It's like verb, noun, something else. Gosh. It's like I hate it, but I'm so dedicated that I can't stop. I can't stop.
My favorite word is ikimasu.
Ikimasu.
Yeah, to go.
To go. Okay.
Nice. Like ikimasu.
Yeah.
Where you going? Ikimasu.
Yeah.
Tabimono. Tabimasu. I'm about to eat. But that's the only ones like I kind of remember. It's a bunch more. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, Japanese was awesome. It was awesome. It was awesome when I knew it and like kind of like learned on the fly and like doing tests. But afterwards it was just like, damn, I wish I'd really like honed in on it. But it's so little Japanese people you're gonna run into. Yeah. So it's just like, I wish I'd have learned Chinese in a way, but a little bit of their language is in Japanese. It kind of can play of words, but that shit is so fucking difficult. Yeah. It's so fucking difficult.
Macy and I went to Costco, and this was like 15-ish days into learning Japanese. I heard a Japanese couple in one of the aisles say "soko wa" and then like into something. Mm-hmm. So I was like, wait, she just pointed at something, and "soko" is that. Mm-hmm. So they're talking about like that, but I would have never, like, even just being able to pick up that. Mm-hmm. Like she pointed and she went "soko wa," so I was like, "Oh, I know she's talking about that fucking blender." It's like, I don't know what she's saying about the blender.
I used to always just be like, when I run into somebody, like, "Oh," I'd be like, because they're like, "Oh," and I'll say like, Nihongo o skoshi desu ne, and it's like very little. Mm-hmm. So they be like, okay, okay. And they'll work with me and say like English with the Japanese to where like I could kind of like communicate with them. So I like being like that, but anything above that, hell no. Yeah. In no way.
Yeah. Especially just learning the alphabet. Like, it's funny that I'm 40 some days into this, and it's like I just now have the alphabet memorized. Like,
right.
You can show me a symbol, and I'll be able to tell you what it is.
That's dope, though. Yeah. That's dope.
But yeah. So I guess final verdict is wrestling and anime.
It definitely is.
I think it is too. Yeah.
It definitely is. Because this is the wording and then like, you ever watch New Japan Pro Wrestling?
No. The only thing I know about it is what the Super Eye Patch Wolf guy has covered. He's covered a few stories about their scene because he watches it a lot. Okay,
cool. Like, all right, so my favorite wrestler in AEW is Kenny Omega. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he big in New Japan Pro, but like one day, like he had won. I guess he won the NAAG. I forgot I don't know how you say it, but he won the U.S. title. Okay, and he's giving a speech and he's speaking fluent Japanese, like to the point where it's like, this motherfucker is amazing with this shit, and and then like when he's like a bad guy, his voice just gets hella like deep. He's like, oh, it's like,
it's funny how they do that. Fuck, like, it's self-implemented stereotypes.
Right? It's crazy. Like, oh, I'm evil now. Yeah. But my favorite like caricature voice in Japanese is whoever the voice of Vegeta is.
The Japanese? Or
the Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God, man! Like that guy's voice is just because he's him and Piccolo.
Oh, okay.
And it's just like you just tell.
I've honestly never watched Dragon Ball in Japanese.
I've only
ever watched it in English.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What the fuck? So English, it's been 3 Vegetas. Because I don't know if do you remember the Falcon?
I knew that there were 2.
There were 3.
There was 3.
So.
Because I knew that the guy or the person, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl.
Yeah, guys. Okay. It's a girl. Well, it's a guy.
Goku's a girl.
Goku's a girl.
Yeah.
Because it's Goku, Gohan, who she plays?
Goten
a little bit. Chi-Chi. She plays damn near all of them.
Yeah.
But it's funny how Goku's voice is just so high pitched. Like,
yeah.
like, what the fuck Goku's supposed to? And then you hear the Goku in English. It's like, it's like, I love that voice. I love that voice.
Same.
Yeah.
But I know the original Vegeta is different than the newest one, but I didn't know there was a third one.
Yeah. So the original Vegeta, he was like, "Hi, Kakarot." Like he sounded like menacing.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch? Okay, so did you ever watch Dragon Ball Super when Vegeta got his soul took and he was fighting that purple Vegeta? Mm-hmm. That's the original voice of Vegeta.
Oh, okay.
So if you watch it again, you can kind of hear.
Interesting.
And if you watch like the Ocean dub version of Dragon Ball, like Goku, you remember Goku's first voice?
Yeah.
That's the original. Because Goku used to be like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And he's, "Hey, I'm Goku." And then the Vegeta, he was, "Yeah, Kakarot, hey, you, son, you dog, Kakarot, all right." Like he sounded like that. And then the second Vegeta was like, "All right, Kakarot, we can go ahead." And then now this new Vegeta is like, "I just want to let you know, Kakarot, that
like, I'm a dad now.
I'm a dad. And I got my life back together." It's like, I don't like you. Give me that second. The second one was the best one.
Vegeta is my favorite character.
All time.
Yeah, I always loved that it was like Goku was like, through the power of training and friendship, I became Super Saiyan 1 or whatever. And then Vegeta's like, I got so mad, I popped a blood vessel and caught up to you.
Busted a nut. Did it happen? Yeah. And then, like, I just hate the story because Akira Toriyama, man, like, that first season of Dragon Ball Z was like, all right, this is great. I can't wait. And then like that and the Namekian, and then once they got the 3, it was just too much. Like he just said, "Fuck it, we're just gonna go. Everybody's Super Saiyan." Like, you don't even like. It's just quick.
It really lost its meaning.
It lost its meaning like a motherfucker, man. And it's just like,
That's the thing with power creep in anime, though, is like. Learning about the powers and stuff is always really cool, but there's always a jumping the shark moment. And I think Dragon Ball Z is like most famous for it.
Oh, they jump it super hard.
Because they had Super Saiyan 1 through 3.
Yep.
And then it was it Instinct after that? Was the red hair?
So it was Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3. Well, Kaioken. Remember Kaioken
20?
Yeah, like that.
That was like for 3
That
minutes.
was like, and that right there was like, all right, this is reality. Like, okay, and then he burns himself out, all that shit. So then Super Saiyan 2, they just kept it there.
Yeah.
And then they went Super Saiyan 3, the long fucking hair.
Yeah.
That was a little too much for me. Like, damn, he got all this long fucking hair, but he was real strong, but his power would run out real fast.
Yeah.
And then the Super Saiyan gods, because we never seen how Vegeta became the red hair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was God and then Instinct.
It was God, then Super Saiyan Blue.
I thought Instinct was the blue one.
No, that's just Super Saiyan Blue.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is the Super Saiyan version of. It sounds so fucking stupid.
It does.
It's what it is, though.
But you love it.
It's
You're
the
like,
Super Saiyan version of God.
Okay.
But in reality, it's the same on par with Super Saiyan 4, which you see a lot in that 8-minute one.
Yeah.
Because it's that Xeno Goku, and then it's that regular Goku, and it's like, this motherfucker's the same fucker. You know
so
what I mean?
which one's Instinct then? Because they also have Super Saiyan Black now too, right?
Well, no, that's Goku Black. And then when he turned Super Saiyan, his hair turned pink.
Gotcha. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Ultra Instinct is in when it's the Tournament of Power. His hair is just regular black. It looks like regular Goku, but his eyes are gray.
Okay.
So that's Ultra Instinct to wear, but it's the Ultra Instinct Omen. So he's defensively, he can avoid everything. Yeah. But his strength is cut in half because he's happened to think as he's fighting. Oh. So once he gets to the point where he's free of thinking, then his hair turns white and he's whooping ass like it ain't nobody's business. But I don't want to tell you too much of it.
Yeah, because I got to get caught up.
Yeah, you got to get caught up. But once he gets to that level, it's like crazy. But Vegeta, he can't do it. He thinks too much as he fights. I mean, you see all his fights. Yeah. All right, this motherfucker just threw a cross. Yeah. I don't know if I can beat him. But if I hit him with this and he's just looking. Yeah. Ain't no way this nigga's thinking all this shit.
That's another funny stereotype in anime is like it'll be the middle of a fight and it'll be like slow-mo, and while it's slow-mo they're going through just like all this stuff like in between punches.
He's gonna hit me in the face, but I'm gonna dodge to the left.
Yeah.
Now, if he eats his right is so fast.
Doing calculus.
Yeah, it's like swing 80 degrees Celsius this way, I can miss it. But then I got to avoid that right. You know, it's just like so funny. Goofy. But then in reality, they're fighting so fucking fast.
Mm-hmm. You can't even blink.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. They're in that Jujutsu Kaisen show. There's a little bit of that because one of the character's abilities, he's actually one of my favorite characters. I love him. His ability is that he can clap, and then he switches places with any person or object.
Oh, that's tight.
And he is completely like maxed out his peak physical form, and his brain speed matches his like physical. So they're trying to explain it basically.
Yeah.
So that one's really funny. Hunter x Hunter is another one that's notorious for that. Have you ever seen Hunter x Hunter?
I watched a little bit of it. I ain't really into it like that. Like I said, it's just for me. It's Dragon Ball, Naruto, the one where it's 3 of them. The one that's like I forgot. He's the one that the blonde one where he's asleep and he whoops everybody's ass. I forgot what that.
Oh, Demon Slayer.
Oh yeah, that's my shit. That's my shit. I've gotten into it. I was fucking with this one chick that was in the anime.
Yeah.
Like a motherfucker, so I had to actually get into
Demon
it
Slayer's
to
good.
get into them draws.
Yeah.
So I was into it like this shit is so excited. She's like, "Oh, really? Let me sit in your lap and watch." I'm like, "Come on!" I literally anime myself into some.
Hunter x Hunter did a thing that made me so mad. It was so funny that it like upset me because Macy and I watched this Hunter x Hunter and it was 4 episodes. I remember it because the fight that you're watching is just phenomenal. And at the end of it, the narrator goes, "Everything that you just saw happened in 0.3 of a second." And you're like,
what?
what?
This was 3 episodes.
We just watched a pyramid fall to the ground. That takes more than 0.3 of a second. What the fuck are we talking about right now?
That's why I used to get shitty with Dragon Ball because man, it'd be like it's same spot.
Yeah.
Like I think the one that made me laugh the most is when Cell versus Gohan and Cell's powering up to hit him with the Kamehameha wave. And 2 episodes, Gohan is contemplating, should I fight or should I give up? And then even Goku comes from heaven and talks to him. It's like, man, what the fuck? All this shit happens in 2 episodes? And literally only like 2 minutes go by. It's like, man, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I used to hate that. Dragon Ball used to always, and they used to always jump in. Damn.
Next time.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z, Gohan's getting ready to punch.
Yep.
Chi-Chi's still at home by herself, pregnant. Like, how does Goku have find time to fuck his wife and get pregnant? Like, what the fuck? The only one that made sense is when he had Gohan. Where the fuck Goten come from?
Yeah. Gosh. My favorite, for me, peak Dragon Ball was like Trunks and the Cell Saga.
That was the best one. That was the best one. It was the most realistic.
Yep.
The power shit happened. You knew how they got super strong. They had to go into this hyperbolic time chamber. It's only one day. I mean, it made so much sense.
Trunks came in and he was like, he's using a sword. Why? It never dawned on me that anybody could use weapons.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he came in, I'm like, why isn't everybody just using swords and shit? Like,
why
are we fist fighting?
And then Goku fought him with a finger, and it's like, man, what the fuck, man? Get the fuck out of here. He just slit Frieza into a kebab, but then Goku is this strong to where his finger is a sword.
Wild.
But then they tell you how he got that sword off the movie. You remember they had the Dragon Ball movies?
Yeah, I haven't seen very many of the movies.
Okay, so movie 13 is how he got the sword. So he meets this guy. This guy comes from some parallel universe, and in order to kill this big ass dragon, he has to play this flute. And it kind of reminds you of fucking Power Rangers, how he plays the fucking flute, and then the Dragon Lord comes. But he plays this flute, and then the dragon goes inside of him into his subconscious, and to the point where he can't sleep. So every time he falls asleep, the dragon can get out.
Okay.
So he goes to Earth and he crashes, and he just wants some sleep. So of course Bulma's the genius. Bulma's like, well, if you go to sleep in here in this place, it can we can stop. You can actually get some sleep. And it's like, hold on, this nigga ain't been asleep in thousands of years. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Eyes ain't no bags on his eyes. Like, how is he doing this shit? Then he looks like one of those Kais. So it's like, he's not a Kai. He looks just like it.
Yeah.
So I guess he finally goes to sleep, but the shit doesn't work. So the whole dragon comes out, and the guy is the one that wields the sword. So he gives the sword to Trunks, before he leaves, because Trunks was like fucking with him, giving him food and shit, introduced him to his mom and all this stuff. It kind of reminds you of like the August Alsina shit when Jada Pinkett Smith was fucking with him.
Yeah.
It's like it's like the same fucking shit.
Yeah. I'm sure Dragon Ball did it better.
Yeah. But like Gohan, or not Gohan, Trunks cuts the dragon up, cuts his tail off. Goku's like, I found his weakness. Then he powers up and kills him.
Yeah.
And then he goes away, and then the guy gives Trunks the sword, and he's like, I can finally sleep. And he flies off into this thing, and then Trunks is looking at him like, all right. And he's a kid, and he grows up with this, but it's a whole different timeline. So how the fuck does he get that sword still?
Yeah, that's funny. All right. Well, I think we're ready to wrap up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we just we got a little bit of anime.
We did get a little bit. This is this is the 5 version of
I don't think my version is.
Cause I watched the podcast before and I was like, all right, I think I know what to talk about, but I jumped so into different shit.
Yeah.
And I can make I can, like, me and you could just talk.
Oh yeah, this
and
then
you'll jump right on it, and it's like, all right, we could just jump into that. And then we're like, oh fuck, I got to get back into what we're talking about. But no, man, thank you so much for inviting me. This
thanks
was
for being
fun,
here.
and
we'll definitely have you back for sure.
Definitely appreciate y'all. Definitely come back. You inspire me.
Nice.
Looking into this room, I'm telling you, bro, this is fucking dope. I like how you putting everything together. Shout out to you and Tyson, the whole team, and I wish y'all nothing but the best. And if y'all need a nigga in y'all group, I'm definitely available.
All right, good to know,
you, my brother.
Thanks. Yeah, do you? So this episode will release Monday.
Cool.
Do you want to shout out any shows, anything you got going on, your socials?
Shit, man. Follow me on IG, TikTok, Twitter, Nate Skate Comedy, YouTube, Nate Skate Comedy, Facebook, Nate Robinson. Got a couple of shows coming up. I'm doing got a show at Wonderful next week as well. Wonderful Bar and Grill, where I was doing the open mic. We will bring back Chicken and Chuckles here coming soon. Ain't no telling. But other than that, man, book your boy. And I'll be in Miami the 20th through the 24th. I'm doing some shows out there. So rock with me, man. Follow me. I'll follow you back. I swear to God, I might. Can't promise you.
Yeah.
And if you got big tits, come to the DM.
All right. I'll message you.
No hairy tits though. I don't need none of them.
I'll shave.
Let's get demonetized.
But yeah, thank you all. We upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, and we've got our daily short. And here pretty soon, hopefully, we'll get this video essay kind of side project that I'm working on. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
See you later.
Thank you for checking out Nerd News, everybody. We don't have advertising, so you are the advertising. If you like it, tell a friend, like, comment, subscribe, even leave a review on Apple. Everything that you do to support us, we truly appreciate it. And we actually just launched our Patreon, so if you'd like to support us even more, you can go check that out. All of our content is free. We have different rewards for different tiers, so check that out. And thanks again. We'll catch you next time.